Let's take a look at some charts, figures, and graphs on Link for Brave New Coin. So Link is a decentralized Oracle network. It doesn't really have any competition outside of Band, which is beneficial for Link. It essentially connects data to everything in the DeFi landscape. It's DeFi piping in the background, handles lots of price data. That's really the most important, arguably, thing that it does as far as bringing accurate and correct data together, merging everything in a nice, neat package. Now, there are plenty of PR-related materials surrounding Link and the integrations with everybody and their mother. That's great. I'm happy for them. I'm not here to add to that. Not to say that this isn't good news or valuable. It definitely is. And it's good to see a project have a use case and acting on that use case and doing stuff. I'm a Link holder, have been for a little while now, so the Link Marines can temper their anger in the comments. But what I'm about to share probably isn't already public knowledge, but it's good to focus on this if you're trying to be bullish on Link. It's really a matter of supply and demand. So I want to talk about the Link token supply. Smart Contract Limited, the company behind Link, or the dev company, or Sergey's boss, or I don't know, whatever that is, continues to hold 237 million Link. They've been selling Link pretty rapidly since 2020, really scaling up those sells over the past few months. Currently selling 6 million a clip per month. I don't care if this goes on the open market or is sold privately. That doesn't matter to me. The point is this is entering circulation, and this is my HiveMind master sheet for the wallets. But the previous wallet they were selling out of has essentially run down to zero, and now they've moved on to selling another wallet. So this signals to me that they're going to continue selling at some pace. Now there may have been some press release or some Sergey comment about what they're going to be doing, but what's more important to me is what's actually being done. So they are A, continuing to sell, B, continuing to sell at a rapid pace, C, continuing to sell at an increasing pace. So all of that is going to temper my expectations for price, because as bullish as the price may look, I don't care who you are, if you're introducing millions of tokens per month, and you can do the math on what the notional value of that is, it is a significant notional USD value. That's going to hurt your price exploration unless there are people on the other side of that trade buying 6 million Link per month and then some. And you're going to see people in the comments tell me about Link reserves on exchanges falling off. Great. I'm happy to be bullish. I'm just saying, look, people, we got a company that's got 237 million reasons to keep selling. And they're going to do so. It appears they're going to continue to do so, as well as this node operator rewards, which will undoubtedly be sold into the market eventually, or distributed is the better word, into the market eventually. So keep that in mind. Now, they have had other good news, like the Grayscale investment product, launching a Chainlink trust, which was in discussion for several months now. So it's really no big surprise that it went live, but it has gone live. So this will absorb a significant portion of the volume, most likely, should others on Wall Street or whoever find the Link bullish. So this is probably the most bullish news you can get to temper my bearish sentiment regarding this token selling, which is egregious. It is, what is 6 million times current price? That's a lot of millions in USD terms. And people are going to say, oh, they're using it for biz dev, or they're using it to grow this, that, and the other. Okay, but do they really need that many millions a month? That's for the market to decide, but I'm just looking at the facts here. Transaction counts for Link have declined, whereas average transaction values have increased. This is probably a product of ETH fees more than anything. This doesn't necessarily look at the Link call usage or whatever goes on with the oracles and whatnot, but this is transactions themselves for the token. So I would want this to increase or be increasing if I was more bullish in the near term on this. I think I'll get to the technicals, but I think the technicals look fine for Link. If we look at NVT in the line here, active addresses in the fill, again, you'd rather see active addresses continuing to increase. Active addresses are declining pretty significantly here with along with transaction counts. NVT has also been declining, which is bullish. It says the market cap has not been pricing in on-chain activity adequately, suggesting there's a bit of an underpricing here based on-chain activity alone. So even with active addresses declining and transactions per day declining, it's the average transaction values here that are rising substantially that are really propping up NVT. And if we look at the transaction values, you can see why. Now, even these are declining, so I suspect NVT will catch up with that decline over time. It's important to note that the on-chain transaction selling that I'm griping about here is also factored in on this NVT decline. So it's hard to really take NVT seriously, knowing where that transaction volume is coming from. If we look at the Google Trends for Chainlink price, they've sort of peaked twice here and again down from highs, kind of mirroring or mimicking transactions and active addresses in that they did hit highs and now they're pulling back a bit. If we look at Chainlink price technicals on the half-year MA multiplier, so the green line here is the half-year MA, and this is 4 times the half-year MA. So the idea here being buy zone is green or lower, sell zone is red line or higher. I added a median line to this to show kind of where between the two, if you're using it as an oscillator, where between the two price sits currently. So it's hugging that median line, and you can see that you had a very small window of opportunity in January where this dipped into the buy zone, and ever since then it's really wanted to hug this median line here. Currently upside resistance sits at 54. That's going to continue to rise as long as price rises. So realistically, the slower this goes, the better. And again, the Link team selling tokens is certainly helping that process along, because the more selling anybody in the market has, the more bearish that's going to be for price generally. So that could be part of the reason why Link's January to February was certainly bullish, but it wasn't as bullish as many of the other DeFi tokens percentage-wise. It did hit new all-time highs, but it didn't blow the top off of prices like many of the other DeFi tokens did. The other issue with Link up here is that the multiple gets smaller. If you think, if I think this is a 2x, for example, it's a much different story than it was at sub $10 where the multiple was 5x, right? $2 to $10 or $5 to 25 to 30, that's 5 or 6x, versus now the 5 or 6x in the near term looks less convincing relative to price action over the past few months. So again, I'm bullish still. Yes, I'm holding it, whatever, great. But upside here is, for me, limited in the near term to a 2x, really. That's kind of where I see this topping out for the year or within the year. Here's the pitchfork on the USD chart, and you get a pretty clean buy zone, sell zone. And again, the $60 level looks realistic by September or thereabouts. Buy zone has also been at the 200-day moving average, currently at around $20. So all this still looks healthy, it looks fine. It's definitely not as exciting as the other DeFi charts have been or were, for the reasons I already discussed, but I still like 60 as an upside target. Trend-wise on the cloud, you can see the variations of the bullish trading patterns Link has had since March. It had its bullish Kumo breakout, slow upgrind, and then blast off when it broke that level, that horizontal level. And it's possible we could be in that similar slow upgrind here as we were in April to July pre-breakout. I don't know what it's going to take to really break out Link in a big way like it did in July, August, especially with the Grayscale news. Link just has a perpetual good news cycle for it because it's got a valuable use case, a valid use case. So I just think this is just going to be a slow grind up all the way 60 and potentially beyond over the next 6 to 12 months. Lastly, on Link BTC chart, it has certainly looked better, but it bounced where it needed to bounce. So again, taking a pitchfork here, it loved living within this pitchfork, got way overbought, came all the way back to the median line. So, people can give me crap about using a pitchfork when price busts out of the median or busts out of the pitchfork, but ultimately, like ETH, potentially in the future, like BTC has in the past, price will return to this level. If there is enough price history in this pitchfork, in this rate of change, price will likely return to this level. So just as was bearish on Link up here based on the pitchfork, I am bullish on Link BTC down here with the expectation that it will once again essentially mean revert to the previous rate of change. Now you could also say to yourself, all right, this is setting up for an Adam and Eve double bottom. You've got your Adam left, as they call it, and we're currently building another. This is usually a slower U-shaped recovery here, and then a breakout to 114k sats or beyond. So let me know what you think about Link in the comments below. You can always check out the Enzyme portfolio we have for ETH BTC. We will have a DeFi portfolio within the next few weeks as well that I will be managing, and it will include Link to a large percentage. You can't ignore Link. If you're doing one of these broad swath DeFi plays, Link is at the forefront of that conversation. So it certainly has that going for it as well. It's tried and true, and it's here to stay. It's just, I wish the token selling was way less than it is, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Happy trading.